Okay, guys. Come on, workbench cam, come on. Hi, Warg. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is set this up so you guys can see what's going on when I'm using the oscilloscope, so. Okay. Well, I don't know, Warg, I don't know which direction they shipped the chips to me in, so the electrons might have already fallen out. Okay, so test signal is up. Oscilloscope is where you can see it. Although you want to see something that's weird about an EEV blog guy? I haven't taken it apart yet. The warranty seal is still protected. Only because this one isn't one of the ones that's easily moddable. Okay. You know what? You can go away. You can go away. What did I just knock off? I just knocked off my oscilloscope probe. Power supply out of the way for right now. Iron's heating up. But I mistakenly had things sitting on it. Hopefully they didn't melt. They didn't. Okay. So, my op-amps came in. And as we discovered last time, this op-amp was, I believe, dead. Just for sanity's sake, we'll go ahead and test it again. And make sure it's still exhibiting the same fault. Again, health and safety warning, do this at your own risk. I am going to be operating stuff at mains voltage. But as long as you don't touch anything in this area, you'll be fine. But if you don't know what you're doing, do not attempt this. Health and safety warning over. So now you can see what I was seeing last week. So we have here, we have the 100 millivolt signal coming in. That 100 millivolt signal goes through this DC blocking capacitor. And it goes to this stage of the op-amp. And then if I remember right, this was the... this one was, yeah. This one was the output, and we're getting about 200 millivolts, so we're doubling the signal. Comes through this DC blocking capacitor, and it is successfully there. Comes over to the other side's input. We're still getting the 200 millivolts. But then on the output, we're getting an almost constant 5 volts. So, that's where we're at. I assume that this is the culprit. We are going to desolder that. I couldn't find my sockets, so I'm going to have to modify a couple. Oh, Lady G Health and Safety is the organization in the UK that doesn't let anybody have any fun because everything is a danger to their health. Power supply away. Oh, come on. Set the speaker over here. Okay. Oh yeah, like I was saying, I couldn't find my other sockets. I could only find my 8-pin or my 16-pin ones. I couldn't find my 8-pin ones, so we might have to modify that guy. We'll pull out a couple. Because I would like to socket these op amps for future. Alright, flip this guy over. Let me pull up that camera and zoom it in. My stream may freak out for a moment while I do this because it didn't like it the last time I did it. Oh, come on. I don't want you full screen. Yeah, I'm getting I got an encoding overload warning when I pulled that up. Hopefully it goes away now that I stopped the video. Whoops. I like this new camera. Let's see. Okay, Leb, what this one is, and I'll show you here what I've got. Link. Disruption. It is this Access. It is a network PTZ camera that I've got mounted on the ceiling above my desk. And then I can control the zoom and the focus from right here. Let's see. If I go to home, you can see my messy desk. If I go to soldering, it'll be a nice close-in shot. Back to workbench. And I'm just pulling this in as an RTSP stream into OBS. Yeah, you want to know why I have this one, Leb? Is because I install these cameras for a living, and we had it at a this particular camera was at a customer site, and it kept, it will work for about 3 days and then power itself off. And then it requires you to power it down and power it back up for it to work again. So rather than it be in a customer site, we got rid of it and replaced it with a new one. The office did not want to hassle with doing a return on it, so it came home with me. And now it is my workbench cam, because now I can zoom in and out on it. Because my old workbench cam is an old Panasonic, what are they? They're the CW504s from Panasonic. They're CCTV cameras. And I'll show you what my old workbench cam looked like. Oh, I guess I can turn that back on. Turn that off. Turn the workbench cam. So that was the old view you guys got. That camera's still installed. I haven't repurposed it yet. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. It may become a permanent oscilloscope camera, because I had one. I had software that allowed me to capture the screen of the oscilloscope. But then Windows changed the way it does USB drivers, and now it doesn't work anymore. So, the plant is still there, Lady G. It got a little sick and lost some of its, a lot of its leaves. Oh, you can't even see that. So I've got a lot of these stalks just running around my desk that have no leaves on them right now at the moment. So, but in the window it's thriving. So, it decided it didn't want to be a star of the stream anymore, I guess. Too much junk on the desk. Cheap, I can't help you there, Leb. I do know that there was a really good one from Panasonic. Oh, whoop, that's YouTube. No. This guy could be both ceiling mounted and desk mounted, but you're talking, I think the going rate for him is like $400. Let me look really quick. Oh, excuse me, $3,000. Yeah, but they were really nice cameras that I used to install, but super expensive. Alright. Okay. Let's see here. So we are going to start by desoldering Yeah, I think the $300 cameras I'm thinking of is the PTZ that I have out in my storage unit, or my storage room, which is an old analog one. Oh, nice, Lady G. Oh, yes. If you go to the waterproof ones from Panasonic, tack another $1,000 on the price tag. So. Oh, the mobile backpack rigs? Yeah, those would be nice. What did I just got a notification about something. I doubt anybody's going to be in that Skype call. It's Labor Day. I doubt anybody's going to be in that work Skype call. Come on, suck the solder off and let go. The fact that I can't get this board flat doesn't help, and I don't know where my solder sucker is right now. Probably under this desk. Okay, it's not sucking up, so. So we will add a little leaded solder to that non-leaded stuff, to the unleaded stuff. Try to get this stuff to flow. Little trap for young player, or trick for young players. If the solder's not flowing, and this might seem counterconductive to desoldering, but if the solder's not flowing well into your wick, add a little bit more solder to the joints, and the fresh solder will help it flow right into your wick. wick's getting too hot to hold. I just soldered it to the board, yay. Yeah, I think, don't the newer GoPros like hook directly to your phone via like Bluetooth or something, and you can stream, it comes up as a video source? Stubborn, Chip. Yeah, I don't care if I ruin this chip because it's already dead, but I don't want to lift tracks off this board. And I've already got some damaged sections from when the manufacturer assembled the board, so... Yeah, see, I don't even own a knockoff GoPro, so I don't know any of that stuff. Oh, and my bottle clinks here. Okay, yeah, the guy that was supposed to meet me at church just noticed that I'm streaming. Oh. Let's see, can I get this chip to come out? Have I gotten enough solder off of it? Give me one stubborn chip. I really need to find that solder sucker. Thing. Yeah, I don't know where my solder sucker or my solder sucker sucking equipment is. I had to move my fume extractor fan though. Really? This one's gonna be really that difficult? A bunch of solder to it. Wick it up. It's not even wicking. I didn't want to do that. I'm going to scratch the underside of the board. You know, there's one place I haven't looked, and that's my disaster area of a corner. And honestly, that's probably where it is. Which one of my fans is making the noise? Okay, I got all but the one pin out, so I'm gonna put a little pressure on it. Just try to extract the chip. All while keeping this in shot. Out. Off amp is out. Let's try cleaning up those pads a little better. Yeah, I don't know how well you're gonna see it. I have to zoom in here. I don't know why the autofocus isn't working. That's a little better. But you see that pad over there? That pad is half missing, and it was that way when I started taking this board apart. So that was done during manufacturing. So that's why I'm trying to be careful with the pads on the board, so I don't damage any more of them. And like I said, I really like this camera. In fact, actually, I'm going to set a new home instead of it zoomed all the way out. Let's see. When was the manufacturing date on this? I think 2008. Well, it might have been older, or it might have been newer than that. Let me look. Or it might be slightly older than that. I've had this thing for 10, 11 years. Uh, 0804. I don't know if you're gonna, yeah, you're not gonna be able to read that unless I zoom in. But the date code is 0804, so I believe that's 8th week of 2014, or 2004. And where did the chip go? The chip was manufactured in the 58th week of... Yeah, the op amp was the 58th week of 2000, so... Yeah, a lot of Behringer stuff is nice, but a lot of it also is, you know, kind of cheap because it's their prosumer grade now. But I can't complain too much at this amp. Where did my scrubbing brush go? AKA my old toothbrush. I thought I put it back up there because I always put it back up there. It's buried under test probes and flux. Still in the tube, mind you. Yeah, well, the sound system that I've got right here, Leb, it's actually I've got a Behringer Mic 100 microphone preamp that's running into the Eurorack UB2222 FX Pro mixer. Which, again, that one, it was getting thrown out because channel 1's busted. So I got that for free, too. I find a lot of stuff for free. And I am quite impressed with this mixer, but this mixer is also part of their older gear because it's analog. But then at church, we've got their higher end line, Midas. I didn't know if you know that, but Midas is actually owned by Behringer now. And it's all part of the same branding. And we are rather impressed with that M32 at church. Okay. Cleaned all the cruddy flux off. Cleaned all the solder off. Alright, let's see if we can modify this thing at all. To only be a 4-pin socket. I am going to... Yeah, I do have a second socket if we go to the other thing, so... I'm just going to cut right through... And again, this is because I can't find my 8-pin sockets. All I could find was my 16-pin. So, sacrificed for the cause. We'll make the open part this side with the notch. And this is just so I can replace this op amp easier in the future if it blows again. Today's music is brought to you by Introvision. I am listening to the Uplink soundtrack right now. Only because I don't have anything better to listen to that isn't copyrighted. Okay. Make sure that's down in there, that's down in there. I'm not even really in shot here. And I'm also not back on my soldering one. Yeah, our Midas M32 only has, 16 main faders and then the 8 matrix faders off to the side. But since it's all digital, you can actually flip from one bank to the other to get to the other 16 channels. And we are, believe it or not, we actually use all 32 channels on that thing. Between all our vocal mics and all our instruments and our wireless mic packs. Okay, what I'm trying to do here is, because that pad is damaged, I'm trying to build the solder bridge between, I think it's a capacitor that's right next to this. There we go. Okay. Actually, see, that's the thing, is our drum kit's not a real drum kit. Our drum kit is one of the digital drum kits that's just got the drum pads, and then we just feed the output of that drum kit directly into the mixing board. But yes, a properly mic'd drum will take up 8 or 9 channels on a mixing board easy. Alright, we are socketed. And bring the power supply back in. I will zoom back out to the desk. I told you to go to the desk, you silly thing. That was weird. It like zoomed all the way out and then zoomed back in. See, the only thing I don't like about this camera is that it's not a pan camera. It is only a zoom camera. So I can zoom in and out all I want, but I can't pan. Okay. Look that up. Look that up. Look that up. Bring my solder fan over here to blow across the amp. So it keeps that cool. Bring out the speaker. The only reason I'm hooking this up is because I don't know if this output amp is one of the ones that has to be loaded or not. Contact. Let's check. I got my pin out of these. Where'd my paper go that had the pin out? That's not my paper with the pin out. I don't know where my paper with the pin out of these chips went. Oh, I wasn't properly grounded anyways. The audio path. So signal in there. Okay. Make sure the output signal, okay, the output signal is not pegged at 5 volts anymore, so it was in fact the op amp that was causing the problem. So we will get a new op amp here. Turn the volume, the gain, and I think the rest is treble, bass, and yeah. We'll set those to about mid. Oh, the DC blocking capacitor is still out, so. Make sure I plug this guy in the right way, but also double check this guy. It is a 458 4558D JRC. So we will plug this guy. that socket. Okay. Contact. Or, I forget how AVG says it. Hey, I'm getting something. Without the even without the DC blocking capacitor. I don't know if you can hear that 1 kilohertz tone in the background. We're getting about 1.7 volts peak to peak out of that op amp now. You'll turn that off. We'll unplug that. We will unplug this guy. We will unhook all of this to get everything out of the way for a moment while we solder that DC blocking capacitor back in. I'm assuming once I get that DC blocking capacitor back in and complete the audio path, it's actually going to make a decent sound. I'm assuming that the buzzing we were hearing there was just bleed over from one op amp to the other. Because the design of this amp, while functional, is not the best. I'm going to try putting the original one back in, but I did buy a box of capacitors just in case. A Night in the Desert, thank you for following. Oh, that sounds like fun, Beb. Yeah, after I get this fixed, we might fire up my other computer and play around with virtual module synths, because I've been having fun with that lately. Let's see. Not sure how I'm going to do this. I need blue tack. Guess I'm just gonna have to do it. Solder sucking fan getting in the way of things as usual. So, don't you run away from my soldering iron. Okay, one side's tacked in. Now I can set the board down. Tack in the other side. Okay. Still don't know if that mod wire was necessary, but this pad was damaged as well. So that's why I put that mod wire in there to replace the trace that got goobered over on this op amp. DC blocking caps back in. Give it a little clean. This is just some, what is this, 90%, 91% isopropyl alcohol. Just cleans off the flux residue that's inside the solder that I use. And then I've got an old microfiber cloth here that's not so microfiber anymore that I just used to wipe off the alcohol. And then there you go, all the solder's off, or the flux. And the reason you do that is flux can be corrosive and eat through your stuff after you're done soldering, and then years later another guy will have to come through and fix it again because the contacts the contacts on a component corroded. Minimum. Those are about mid. Bring in this. Bring in the speaker. Bring in the tone generator. I think I fixed it. Oh, that was on overdrive. The overdrive was engaged on that one, guys. But I now have gain control back. And I have volume control back. Hi, Spoon! I fixed my guitar amp. I wish I could play a more pleasing tone than just a 1 kilohertz sine wave out of the thing right now at the moment, but I don't have my guitar and I'm not that good at playing anyways. So, that now I get to put it all back together. If I can remember how that goes. Turn off the tone generator. Unplug that, unplug that. Oh. Unplug the mains. Actually, I could do a... I could do a square wave. But it's probably not going to sound all that better. I can also do a triangle wave. So at Lep... Oh, whoop. Yeah, I unplugged the speaker. At Leb's request... Well, I'm turning the gain knob, not the volume knob. That's a 1 kilohertz square wave. Sine wave, triangle wave, square wave. I can also change it. Okay, enough of that. But yeah, that's coming from my little Medel signal generator that I got in trade, actually. Here, I'll show it to you guys. That's all. So this little guy, it's not a very expensive one. It's only about $150. Piece of test gear. But a friend of mine needed work done on her laptop, and in lieu of payment, I took a piece of test gear that she no longer needed because she got a better one. So I soldered together, a new power connector into her motherboard on her laptop so she could charge her batteries, and I got a signal generator out of the deal. And like I said, I felt fun with it. You know, I felt that was a decent trade because I needed a piece of test gear. She needed something fixed. And I did have to do a little repair work on it when I first got that thing. The 10-turn pot for the frequency select was gummed up, and I had to spray it down with some contact cleaner and spin it around a few times. Putting away test test probes and all that stuff, and getting the oscilloscope, or the oscilloscope, the oscilloscope, whatever you want to call it, out of the way. Where did my end for this go? I will have to find that. Clearing off the spot where my oscilloscope lives to put it back. The oscilloscope probe, little clippy thing fell on the floor. Found it. Yeah, and that's the thing too, guys, about any test gear, test equipment. You know, pick it up when you're done. Take care of it. If you take care of it, it'll take care of you. Like my oscilloscope probes, stay in the bag they came in. They don't stay dangling off my oscilloscope unless I'm actually using it. Because it's too easy for something to smack it, and then you destroy either the probe or you break the BNC or whatever, if it's a higher frequency scope, whatever connector it uses. And I'll tell you what, the 5 minutes it takes you to pick up your, pick up your probe and put it back in the bag is going to save you a whole heck of a lot of time in repairing said scope later when you break it. Alright. Oh, and not to mention, if it's a one at, say, your job at a place that uses it for testing, it's going to need to be calibrated, and if you break that jack off the front of it, not only does it have to be repaired by a professional, but then it has to go back out to be recaled. Mini rant over. So I'm just screwing all this stuff back together here. So this attaches the heat, basically the heat sink of the final output amp, which is this metal plate, is then bonded to this metal plate to pull as much heat as possible out of everything. We then had sadly, Spoon, this isn't a Marshall, it's a Behringer. It only goes up to 10. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can't really see it. But yes, it's a Behringer. It only goes up to 10. It doesn't go up to 11. Now, what did I do with that nut? There. Oh. Alright, the chassis is now earthed. Those come out like that. This guy gets packed back in there. You know what, guys? I'm doing this wrong. I just remembered it cannot come out as a solid assembly. I just remembered. I'm glad I didn't get much farther than just putting in 3 screws before remembering that. Is that your cute little keychain that you crocheted, Lady G?
Just need some batteries.
Okay. LED cube down. Set that there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Wii remotes, they chew through batteries. Okay. Bring up the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? Nothing's in the box. Yet. So because of these 2 wood pieces, this cannot slide in from the back. It has to go in from the front, but it can't go into the front with the circuit board attached to it. So what I have to do, again, I don't think Behringer figured these, free guitar amps that they were giving away with their guitars were ever going to get repaired, and probably just thrown out if they were bad. But I literally just fixed this with an 8-cent part. Okay, so now that that's in, then I will take one of the handle screws. Actually, I'll take both of the handle screws and lightly put those in. I'm out of shot again. Framing, dude. Framing. Okay, so now that that's in... Oh, I do need to... I can't have it fully installed. That's right. Take those handle screws back out. Drop those back in there. What I have to do is I have to pull this guy up. Tilt him back. Yes, I just had a screw fall on the floor. I might just have to look through my other screws, guys, because I cannot find that guy. It is gone. No doubt that was probably the exact screw that I needed that just went pling off somewhere. I'm sure I will find that thing barefoot one night in my office. It's inevitable. You know what? I didn't water that plant yesterday, and I usually water it on Sundays. So here you go, plant. Have some water. Alright, guys. I will be right back. I'm going to go look through my collections of screws and try to see if I can find one close approximation to this. So don't get anywhere. I'll be right back. I might actually do that. By that, Lady G. Okay. It's not a perfect match. It's a little bit longer, and the head's a little bit fatter, but the threads are the same. Let's see, one of these was loose. So I'll put the other one in first. Okay, threads are slightly different, but I am cutting new threads essentially. Okay. Sorry, you can't see past my hands. Ground nut, ground wire reattached. Alright. Now, we can put that guy back up in. Away from the DC mains. AC stuff off to the side, away from the final output and everything. Click. Okay. About to install the stuff to stop that from happening. Okay. Now the handle gets this little guy. And one of these. And it goes through the case and into that metal framework. I can get the hole lined up. Yep, another bracket, another bolt. Hole. Tighten down. Okay, that's in. Circuit board's not going anywhere, so now we can work on nuts. Those two just get plastic nuts. And it looks like the power LED didn't end up back in its hole. It didn't. Oh, come on. Okay. LED back in its home, or, well, close enough to it. There we go. Scratched up the face of the LED a little bit, but it'll still function. Grab this. Tighten these down, but not too tight. I think I may have just cracked that one. Great. Yep, I did. The headphone jack. See, that's a tough one. I've never been good at prices, Lady G. But knowing how much work goes into something like that and the fact that it's handmade, I'd say I'd want to charge about $50 for it, but I realize that that might not be very competitive, and closer to $20 a piece would be more competitive, but at that rate, I don't know if you'd be making any money because of the materials. Oh. Oh, they're actually... Must be about noon. My battery backup is doing its daily tests. I thought they were larger than that. I guess that if they are really tiny, maybe about $10. But 5 is more likely going to be what you're going to get for it, only knowing the touristy market. I wish I had the nut tool for doing this, but... See, are all these the same? Yes, they are. Oh, I guess, Spoon, in a way you can kind of turn this thing up to 11. Because it's got the overdrive button, which doubles the gain of the first stage amplifier. So actually that'd be more like turning it up to 20. So yeah, I could go all the way to 20. Because the gain is 0 through 10, and then with the overdrive it doubles the gain. Okay. Gonna re-hook up the little cable strain relief on the mains input here to keep it out of my way, and then we're gonna reinstall the speaker in the cabinet. And we're gonna fire her back up, make sure it still works. And if it does, we'll put the back on. I mean, this amp is only a 10-watt amp, so it's not like you're gonna bring down a house with, you're not gonna impress a lot of people with this thing. This is it's a practice amp, it's not a stage amp. Give me my screwdriver back. Okay. This up for hopefully the last time. They're playing Yahtzee out, Wii Yahtzee out there, so. Oh, hang on a tick. Where did they go? Where did they go? I know I've got some quarter inch over here. We are going to send, well, first off, I'm going to not send my mic to that. We're going to aux 1. Things attacking me. Alright, so I'm taking the output from my where Winamp is coming. I'm going to route it through an aux send into the input. Why is that feeding back? Because my aux 1... Okay. Yeah, the only thing on my aux... Wow, okay, so I've got bleed... I've got bleed over from my mic on aux send 1. That's weird. That is so weird. don't know if it's gonna work. Yeah, I'm fine. What I need is I need one of those direct boxes that allows me to plug it into XLR, but yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Okay, oh, that's where my bleed over is coming from. Recording this, properties, listen, okay, that is so weird, guys, because here's what I've got happening. Hopefully it won't be a problem when I get my other cables in place for the Discord stuff, but Windows is routing my mic audio back out my speakers, even though I'm told it don't listen to my mic, because Windows is retarded. Because that's Windows for you. I guess I shouldn't have put my test cables away yet. Yep, it works. I was going to try to play some music through it, but yeah. Windows is being retarded. Hopefully I haven't blown everybody's eardrums out with that. So the final stage will be to put the back cover back on. Hey, no, you don't go running away behind my scope. My solder piece decided to try to run away. So I'm done with the soldering iron. I can shut that down. All right. We are complete. And look at that. I only had to replace one screw. that, like I said, I'm going to find it later barefoot in this room. And it's an internal screw, so nobody can tell that it's silver instead of black unless they watch my video. So that was a fun little project to do. Are you still alive, Spoon, or did I kill you with all the squawking and the feedback? Sorry, Lady G. I have deafened my stream. I'm sorry. So what shall we do next? Now that that's fixed.